Hey guys, Richard here. Oh my goodness, it is still cold. Cold for Florida, that is. But at least the rain has stopped. This is the first time we've seen the sun in days. We've had like 4 days or so of just constant drizzle, and it was just a mess. But oh my goodness, hey, I'm going to take out and go for a quick ride. Just a quick ride. Going to take out the Happy Run. This is the G70 model. Big two battery system here. I mean, we got 40 amp hours of battery. We got a dual suspension here. Moped style. So we're going to take that out for a quick ride, and then we're going to take out a couple other ones for just a quick ride because we got some new ones in and we just haven't had a chance to even take them down the street at all. So that's what we're going to do. So come along for the ride. All right, we're going to check this out. Now, we did have a little problem with the Happy Run here when we first received it, and that is the start button right down here is kind of all busted up. It still works, but I reached out to Happy Run and they apologized, said, hey, we're going to get another one in the mail, and they did. The next day I had one in the mail on the way to me, and I believe it gets delivered tomorrow. So happy about that, but we're going to press the button, get it started. Oh no, it's all locked up. Hey, you're going to see flicker on the screen. That's just because of the camera. It doesn't really flicker. Oh no, we forgot something important, guys. Yep. Here we go. All right, here we go. So I tell you what, these moped style bikes are kind of cool. Not my favorite style because they're just too small for me. I mean, I'm really tall. Look at my legs. They're way up above the handlebars. So it's hard for me to pedal. And unless you're a short person, you'll probably find that, you're going to be bringing your knees to your chest. That's the only thing about them. Other than that, they are kind of cool. I like that this one has some pretty neat features with that security. You're having to use an NFC card to get it started. Another thing that's kind of different on this, look, I'm going to stop pedaling because my camera's wobbling all over the place as I'm trying to pedal. Another thing that's kind of cool about this is that your pass levels, you change it with your start button. You just push the green button and it toggles through. Pedal assist 1, pedal assist 2, there's 3. So that's kind of cool. I like that the motor is not real loud. So it's pretty nice and quiet. Let me turn around here. Got somebody coming down the street. That means I need to go back here and sit with Toby. Yeah, so let's see what else about this bike that I like. Pretty comfortable. That rear shock is working really well. So I like that. Huge headlight. I like that. Because I'm so tall, I end up sitting like way back here to be able to, just try to find a nice comfortable position. Nothing wrong with that. We've got blinkers back here. Got the little backrest going on. I already mentioned the batteries. Big, huge honking headlight. And the headlight stays on all the time, too. So that's kind of like a daytime running light. We do have 7 mechanical gears. Shimano shifter twists the throttle. And nice colorful display. I'll throw a picture up on the screen because you can't really see it. And a nice little button pad over here for your headlight and your horn and your blinkers. It does have blinkers. Although we didn't get the blinkers with this one. I asked them for them. I don't know if they're sending them or not. But yeah, for some reason the blinkers were not in the box, but we do have connections for them. So if we needed to, we could always go online and buy a set. All right, looky here. This is the Electric X Peak 2.0. I'm telling you what, I'm excited. This will be my first ride down the street because we got it assembled, but it was raining, so I never took it out. But let's take a quick look here. We did have a little problem with this when we received it. I'll share that with you in just a second. Big, huge 26-inch tires. And as you can tell, the frame is kind of squished. It just looks squished to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. The upright right here has a pretty sharp up angle on it. But what a great looking bike. I like the color. It's not white. It's not gray. It's just something in between. So I really like the looks of that. Renegade forks. Just a really good components here. Integrated rear tail light here. 60-pound max load on the rack while we're back here. That's where we had the problem when we received it. We had a bolt that was sheared off down here on the rack. So we had to drill that out, retap it, put a new one in. I had the help of my buddy Ron to do that. Easy on-off pedals. Those pedals are easily to be removed. Big 20 amp hour battery, which is a big improvement over the original X-Peak 1. Thumb throttle on the left, button pad, hydraulic brakes, nice display. We get that fired up. And this is an 8-speed. Oh yeah, I'm excited about this. Taking a look here at the front, I don't know. This seems like it's a dangly mess here just a little bit. And the 1.0 was the same thing. It was a bit of a mess. But I have seen worse, and I've seen much better. Just how that is kind of grouped together there. All right, let's move it around here. Let's just jump on this thing and go for a ride. This will be my first ride. Haven't been out on it yet at all. So we're powered up. Yeah, so I have to adjust my camera because my camera angle is pointed down. So with this bike, you kind of lean forward just a little bit. And on the 1.0, I did raise up my handlebars, put an extension there just to raise them up so I had a more upright riding position. For a true mountain bike, you want to have a lower handlebar. It's a little more aggressive stance, but I really don't use it for that way. I'm going to use this bike more as a cruising bike, just getting around. So with that, I will have to adjust those handlebars. We are in pedal assist 1, 0 miles on the odometer. Let's see what she feels like. We have a little rattle in the back end. Oh, you know what? Oh no. Oh no. Somebody forgot to put air in the tires. The back tire is a little low. That's part of it. Yeah, we're gonna let this truck go by and we'll get it turned around here. I tell you what, guys, it is frigid cold out here. Yeah, frigid cold. But I like how this feels. Yeah, I do. Now, one problem I had with the 1.0 version, I purchased that one with my own money, and we ended up sending it back, is because the wheels, I showed you the frame is kind of squished. Just as I was leaving the driveway there, I already had my toe rub against the tire down here. It already hit that once. So when you're turning, you gotta kind of be careful and make sure you know where your feet are positioned, so you don't exactly accidentally, clip it like I just did right there. Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. All right, smooth sailing. Looks like another great build by Electric. Happy with that. We're not gonna ride it far because that rear tire is pretty low, so we're gonna go ahead and park it over here, grab another one. All right, guys, this is the Retan. This is the Retan Sequoia, a newer model for Retan. And this is our first time working with them. And I have to tell you, I always thought of them as more of a budget-friendly. And they are, because the cost of their bikes are on the lower end compared to some premium bikes. But the quality so far seems to be really good. I'm happy with the build quality. Real happy with how it looks. Happy with the some of the components that they have on here. We have a derailleur guard down here. We do have some really aggressive tires here. These are Kendas, just really aggressive looking. The Sequoia, because it's a mountain style bike, it does not have a rack or fenders that come with it. Moving on up here, really nice button pad. Yeah, I like that a lot. Thumb throttle on the left side. For a mountain style bike, I prefer a twist throttle because when you're hitting the hills and hitting some rough trail, it's a little easier to control your speed when you can have a twist throttle that you can grab hold of, and then the rest of the handlebar you can hold on to, so you can kind of control it. Whereas this over here, your thumb is kind of free floating, and so you start hitting some bumps or whatever, and it's kind of hard to keep that thumb straight, nice and stiff, and so sometimes it's just harder to regulate your speed. But that's okay. I'm not going to be taking this on the trails too much. I'm mostly going to be using it as a cruising bike. We do have some Fast Ace brakes. Never heard of that brand before. It is hydraulic, so we're going to test them out and see if those are any good. Wiring is, wish they had more wire wrap on here just to clean it up and give it a better look. I do like the headlight on here. Headlight looks really nice. Of course, we have suspension forks on the front. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get this out and see what it feels like. Really nice looking display. We've seen that style before. I'm a fan of that kind of display. And yeah, we're going to pop it up in the pedal assist 1. Just cruise down the street. Let's go this way this time. This is a torque sensor bike. Feels real nice too. Put up in the number 2. Yeah, torque sensor feels real good here. Motor's nice and quiet. Don't have any loud noise or rattling coming from the motor like you do on some. Don't hear any real high-pitched noises. I think motors have been improving this past year. We're starting to see fewer and fewer of the ones that have a high-pitched noise to them. So I like that. This is also an 8-speed shifter over here. It's the finger shifter. I like that. Yeah, this is real nice and smooth riding. I'm going to look forward to getting this out for a longer ride as soon as the weather warms up a little bit. But we're not going to go far today. Just a little too cold here. You know, one of the problems we have here in Florida is that people, they're not really, or at least my family, we're not really equipped for the cold weather too much because we don't have cold weather here in Florida. You know, every winter we have, you know, a week, maybe 2 at the most, where the temperature is a little cooler. But I tell you what, it has just been darn right cold for a little while now. And so we don't have the proper clothing to be out here in the kind of weather we're having. Guys, I tell you what, it's a good looking bike, isn't it? Doesn't that just look good? I like that color. Kind of like a silvery gray kind of color going on there. Yeah, I like it. Let's grab another bike. All right, guys, this is the Electric Expedition 2.0. I have wanted this bike for a long time. Before the 2.0 come out, I was interested in the Expedition 1.0. And I was so excited when Electric reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do a test and review. Guys, I tell you what, this bike is nicely equipped, good quality. The quality of electric bikes are just really, really sharp. Tremendous value for the money that you're spending on them. May not have been the case in the earlier years when they first came out, but they have really improved everything about these their products. And I tell you what, I couldn't be happier with it. Look at this right here. Look where the rider sits, and look how much bike you have back here. That is a lot of bike. This is probably the longest, next to the rickshaw that I have with a passenger seat, this is the longest bike we've had, which could prove to be a little difficult if we want to take it somewhere. I don't know. We'll have to test it out on the rack and see. But I tell you what, super, super nice. There is one critique that I don't care for. I'll talk about that in a minute. But first, we have 2 seat cushions back here, so easily carry 2 children if necessary. The footboards are a little shorter, but you can still use the footboards with 2 smaller kids. This back here is a really neat idea. It's the rear fender is integrated with this, you know, this cowling or whatever we call it right here on the side in order to protect little feet from getting into the spokes. Although it doesn't go down all the way, but yeah, it does a good job right there. We do have blinkers, integrated blinkers, of course. Let's see, we got the dual battery option. This is the long range. It's not the extended long range, but it is the long range. Happy with that. We have this accessory bag right here in the middle, just adds some extra storage space. I don't know if I'll keep that on because it just makes it a little harder to get on and off, raising your feet up to get across right here. This isn't a bike that you want to be swinging your leg over the back, especially if you're going to have cargo or kids back here. You might be kicking them in the head. Really nice stem on this, adjustable. Really like it a whole lot. Basket connection point in the front, so we can add a basket if we need to. My biggest critique, and I haven't even talked about the cockpit, my biggest critique so far, kind of a big problem, not a big problem, just a problem. The position of the kickstand right back here that holds the bike up, the kickstand itself looks very durable, looks very robust. I think it's going to do a fine job. But you have so much bike back here. You have a lot of weight back here. And to get this bike on and off the kickstand, you have to pick it up in order to get it off that kickstand. And it's not very well balanced. So traditionally you're picking up the bike by maybe holding on to the handlebar and grabbing the seat. That's what most people do because you don't really have a good place to grab hold of back here. And when you're trying to pick up the bike, you're trying to pick up the rear end of the bike to get it on and off the stand, but you're picking it up right here, which is a pivot point. So by picking it up right here, it just makes it really hard to get it on and off. So I hope they will address that. Hopefully they'll look at that and see if they can do something a little different for version 3.0. That's my only critique about this bike. There is a fix. To fix that, I'm going to go ahead and get a regular kickstand, the kind that mounts, that clamps onto the rear tube, and we're going to mount one somewhere around here so we have a secondary kickstand that we can use when it's not necessary to use that one. Of course, you want to use that one when you're hauling children or groceries or cargo and you want to keep the bike upright. But when you're not doing that, a regular kickstand will do you just fine, and it's going to eliminate you having to pick up this bike to try to get it on and off. Hey, let's take this thing for a ride. So we got to get it off the kickstand first. Well, let's do that. I'm going to pick it up best we can and kick. There we go. Yeah, a little tough, a little tough. All right, cockpit looks real good. We got a really nice button pad over here we've seen before, thumb throttle, of course, hydraulic brakes. It is an 8-speed. Love it, with the paddle shifters. We're going to power it up. Or not. Electric. What are you doing here? We're going to have to wake up the batteries. We're going to have to wake up the batteries, push the button on the battery, wake them up. There we go. Oh, so there you go, guys. You're going to have to wake up the batteries each time you jump on it when it's been sitting for a while. Nice color display. I like it. Put it up in the pedal assist 1. One of the better features or better improvements over the 1.0 version, guys, is that they included a suspension front fork. Yeah, and that's real nice when you're having to go up and off curbs or driveways like this. Almost got ran over by the neighbor. That's okay, I just cut through his grass. Yeah, so tell you what, super nice. The torque sensor that they have on this, I think it's their proprietary sensor, right? The PWS system, the power management thing that they got going on. I don't fully understand the technology, but oh boy, this thing pedals so smooth. Yeah, and I'm only in 4th. Let's go ahead and bump it up to like 5 or 6. There we go. Oh, that's kind of stiff. Let's go ahead and bump it up in the... Oh, there we go. We had to bump up the pass level. Put the pass level in 4. Now we're taking off. Woo! Super nice. Let's get turned around here. Oh yeah. This is sweet. You know, a good cargo bike that's well equipped can be, I mean, that should be the go-to bike for most people because it allows you to do so much. You can carry passengers, you can carry groceries or other things, plus you can just use it to cruise around on. Since they added the front suspension, it just makes it a little nicer, so if you do go off the road just a little bit, you'd be able to do so. I really like a well-equipped, well-designed cargo bike, and in my opinion, this is the best on the market, by far. But we'll get more into that when we do the full review. Oh, I gotta raise this thing up. Yeah, for sure. Guys, that's gonna be it for this video. We've test rode 4 bikes real quick out here in the cold. Time for me to go inside and warm up again. So from Toby and I, we hope you guys have a great day. Ride responsibly, ride safe.